for a half hour to health with Dr. Robert and Debbie DeMaria. Call a friend or family member now and let them benefit from today's exciting and informative program. If you want to lead a healthier life, the time is now.
Hello, this is Dr. Bob and Debbie DeMaria. Welcome once again to our Half Off Health program. And let me share this with you. If you have hormones in your body, you need to be watching us tonight. We're going to be talking about human hormones. We'll focus a little bit about both, but I'll tell you what, there is a huge epidemic going on in America today, and that is this. We are living in a sea of estrogen. What does that mean, Dr. Bob? Well, without being too silly and too disgusting, the average glass of water that you consume that's not been filtered has been through 6 people's toilets. Ooh, Dr. Bob, like, what do you mean? That means when you flush the toilet, it goes through the sewer, through the filtration plant, and then eventually, over time, it comes back to you. I'm going to stretch your mind here a bit, and this is really significant, and I think that at some point people will finally catch on. When you're done taking your medications and you have extra medications left over, what have they told you to do with them for the last 50 years? That's right, flush them down the toilet. So where do you think those medications go? They go into the sewer, into the water, through the filtration plant. Now let me ask you a trick question. Do you think that the filtration plants in your community are up to date to be able to process chemicals that have been created in a laboratory to alter physiology? I think not. Well, I can tell you for sure they don't, because there have been researchers who have found and gone to municipal water supplies and in the surrounding areas, and guess what they have found? Elevated estrogen, psychoactive medications, which mean antidepressants, hormone replacement therapy, and the items that are used to stop people from smoking cigarettes. Think about that when you drink a glass of water that's not been filtered.
That is pretty scary. But Dr. Bob, elevated estrogen, why would that make a difference in my life?
Well, Debbie, that is such a huge question, and I'm going to tell you this. Not only does it affect your life, it affects my life. So let's really stretch this a lot. What we are seeing an epidemic of in our practice, now we have written several books. Debbie and I have written a book on sex and romance, and we've written a book on female hormones. I'm seeing a new epidemic, and this might be the first time that you've heard this. We are having male patients come into our office today, and guess what they have low levels of, Deb? Testosterone. So we're having more and more men come in that have no desire to be intimate with their mate. They have no energy, and if someone says, hey, let's go golfing, hey, let's go hunting, let's go here, they say, no, I'm just not feeling 100%. So they're losing their drive, they're losing their passion that America was made of. Lewis and Clark crossing over the mountains. Today, I'm just going to watch Dr. Bob and Debbie. I enjoy them so much. They are so funny, and they teach me things. Hey, after the program today, I want you to get out, and I want you to do something. But here's what's going on, Deb. It's called, ready? You enjoy this. You can hold this one.
Okay.
Twist it. It's called stress. Americans are in stress.
In knots, Dr.
And
Bob.
what's
In knots.
happening to them today, there's a gland in the body called the adrenal gland that makes hormones. Hormones for intimacy, sex, hormones for ligament strength, hormones for blood sugar stress. But if you're eating lots and lots of this sugar, and if you're under stress, your body can't make hormones, Deb.
Dr. Bob, then, what are some of the telltale signs of that their adrenal glands are maybe depleted or lowered, or what is the effect that we're seeing?
Well, what's happening, and we talk about this in detail in Dr. Bob's Drugless Guide to Balancing Female Hormones. What happens is that you might wake up and you're tired. Bright light bothers your eyes. You're taking a shower and you're drying yourself off and your back goes out. or you have low back pain for insignificant reasons. You have chronic allergies. Those are typical body signals, especially bright light bothering your eyes and getting dizzy from a sit to a stand position. So these adrenal glands, which you have a pair of them, they're located on top of your kidneys. In a man, they make testosterone also. So do your testicles make testosterone. But if you don't have enough zinc in your body, testosterone, Debbie, can also flip into becoming estrogen. So there are ladies right now that are watching us that have no desire to have intimacy. We call that libido. What's happening to them is that their whole body is literally exhausted. And it's an epidemic. You know, we were recently watching Dr. Oz on TV, and he did a show just on sex in America. And half of the Americans are not intimate with their mates. We have a huge epidemic of this going on in our society today. But it's not just the females that don't want to be intimate, it's the men. They have low testosterone because their bodies are exhausted. Their bodies can't even make the testosterone. But Debbie, you know what really concerns me more than anything right now?
What is that?
Well, this is canned food and a dairy product. You know, once again, we have been really blessed. We've written 6 books. One of the books is on detoxification. And what we have found, and if you could just turn your attention to this can right here, inside of the can, and you could check any canned food that you have. We don't promote canned food. I'm not saying Debbie and I never eat canned food, but I know some of you have canned food every day. Inside of this can, there's a lining called BPA, Bravo Paul Apple. BPA stands for bisphenol A. It's a toxic chemical. It's estrogen-based. So if you're giving your child, especially young children, boys or girls, canned food and standard milk or conventional milk, what does that mean, Dr. Bob? It means it's not organic. That means they've been feeding cows anything that they want, hormones. So when you drink cow's milk from a cow that's had chemicals put in it, those hormones affect you. So you know what we're seeing an epidemic of today, Deb?
What is that?
We're seeing young girls that have breast development before chronologic time, and we're having young boys that have enlarged prostate glands, and not to be silly, small genitalia. So we're having this whole genetic mutation go on right in front of our eyes. Boys become more effeminate when they have estrogen, and it is not healthy. So what I've also been blessed to learn, and I really want you to pay attention to this now, I want you to become label savvy, soy stops sex. You said that on Christian TV? I did, because soy is estrogen. Estrogen is antagonistic to testosterone. But if a young boy is eating soy, he's going to become very effeminate. He's going to become very feminine. If a young girl eats soy, she's going to have a ferocious sexual appetite. So we have some major challenges. But if you're a man right now and you're 40 years old, I'm going to tell you, don't eat soy. Debbie and I recently did a TV program out in California, and we were talking to one of the individuals that was a part of the team that was doing the TV taping of us, and his wife makes him eat soy every day. And he's having an enlarged prostate gland. And I'm telling you, you could have an enlarged prostate gland from eating soy products. This is nothing to goof around with. This is one of the most serious programs that we've done, because I'm talking about cancer now. Do you know, statistically, 95% of breast cancer is caused by too much estrogen. I do respect the pink ribbon movement that's going on in America today, and you can walk around that track 100 times. But you're not getting to the cause of the problem unless you, that's right, you are willing to start making some lifestyle changes. And one of them is we have to get your estrogen levels down. Now, this could be really a controversial area, because see, there's one point your estrogen levels are too high, and then all of a sudden you go through menopause and they become too low. They become too low because you don't have enough adrenal gland function to make natural estrogen. So Deb, is there anything that you think that our wonderful viewing audience may have not got with that information?
Well, I think one of the things that they are going to need to know is, how do we balance our estrogen then? And what foods can we eat that is safe for us? And what, besides soy, should we really stay away from? Now, I know that zinc is an important part of our body, or something that we want to either eat or get as a supplement. So where would we get our zinc from, Dr. Bob?
Well, I can first tell you this. You want to avoid wheat and soy products. You know,
Okay.
there's millions of people that have a gluten sensitivity. Wheat, rye, and oats have gluten. Gluten is the glue that's found in those particular grains. Now, I just want you to start becoming label savvy for soy, because soy is everywhere. Where do you get your zinc from? Well, you could Google this, or you could do a search on this. Zinc is in most nuts. Zinc for sure is in pumpkin seeds. And we eat, personally, Debbie and I eat a lot of nuts. When I say nuts, almonds and cashews, etc., and walnuts throughout the day, throughout the week. We use Celtic sea salt. Now, if you were to go to my website, which is druglessdoctor.com, wherever you're at in the world right now, druglessdoctor.com, we have an aqueous or liquid zinc. I would encourage you to purchase a bottle of that and take the zinc taste test. If you don't taste the zinc, that's not good. Now, we have a lab that we work with in Georgia, and this is where I learned part of this from. The lab is able to do what we call a blood spot test. So we could actually have you, in the convenience of your own home, you could get a little lancet, prick your finger, put your blood on a little blotter. We send it to the lab. I've read statistics from them that 1/3 of the women in our society today don't have enough zinc. Zinc is important for function. Debbie mentioned a little bit earlier a little bit of that. But are you starting to lose your mind? There's a part of your brain called the hippocampus. Not hippopotamus, but your hippocampus. Your hippocampus is for memory. Zinc is also used to make zinc. Gentlemen, not to be silly, but do you have pain on the inside of your heels? If you have a swollen prostate gland, it can compress the nerves that come from your low back, that go down the legs to the inside of your ankles. So if a man comes into my office and he has low back pain, we may do a Murphy punch test to him, some other mechanical tests, which I'd encourage you to call our office if you're suffering from low back and leg pain now. But he could have a zinc deficiency, because the zinc causes the prostate to swell, Deb. And this is the gentleman that will sleep 1 hour a night, and he's always having to urinate because his prostate gland is enlarged. So I'm not telling you never to eat wheat again, but wheat could be your issue. If you're having wheat with every meal, if you have a breakfast pastry and then a sandwich and then pizza and some kind of muffin, you're going to have a zinc issue. Some other issues or some body signals of zinc are large facial pores. Ladies come in my office, and men too. They have large facial pores. I know they have a passionate for wheat. A couple other things is white spots on your nails. Do you have white spots on your nails? White spots on your nails, an enlarged prostate, memory loss, blood sugar stress are all body signals to not enough zinc. If you don't have enough zinc, you probably have too much copper. If you have too much copper, after you're done watching the program and it's time to go to bed, you may be the person that's laying there in bed with your eyes closed, but your head's going 1,000,000 miles an hour because you have too much copper. You know what we're going to do right now? I'm going to take a short break. You chew on that a bit. You watch this wonderful little infomercial and be right back. Hello, this is Dr. Bob DeMaria inviting you to come to Nick Abraham Auto Mart. Do you know that Nick has been in Elyria for over 28 years? And my family have purchased vehicles from there. We have had our cars serviced at Nick Abraham. I've actually had 6 Nissans. Nick, thank you for being with me today. So tell us, what's so special about Nick Abraham?
Well, the big thing is everybody looks for the home run. We look for the base hit. We want to sell you a car, then we want to sell you another car. The other thing is a good deal starts with a good price, but it ends with good service. The service far outlasts the price. So
I can tell you that because I always get my oil changed. Everything is taken care of. I love the details. You know what's even more special? The staff at Nick Abraham have been there for how many years?
We've got people that have been there for the whole 28 years.
For all 28 years?
Yeah, a lot of them are retiring now, but they've been there for a long time, and we have a lot of longevity, and it's really good. You know who you're dealing with all the time.
And so Nick not only has Nissan, but you have Ford,
Buick, and GMC.
And so can you imagine, and I love the new Fords. I'll tell you what, Ford has done a lot to improve the quality of the vehicle. They're second to none, aren't they?
Second to none right now.
And I know that the Buick itself, they're going for all generations. So if you're in the market for a vehicle, you know, you can get a vehicle anywhere, but you want service, you want easy access, you want longevity, you want somebody that you know with confidence. I mean, Nick has been around for a long time, almost has been around as long time as I've been practicing. So if you need a new vehicle, where do you think they should go?
Well, either to the Ford store, the Buick store, or the Nissan store.
So you could go anywhere. Elyria, Sheffield, easy access all over Northern Ohio. Stop by there today. I promise you, you'll be glad you did. Hello, this is Dr. Bob and Debbie DeMaria. Welcome once again to our Half Off Health program. And I know what, Deb, we threw out a lot of information, right, in this first segment. And we were talking about hormones. We're talking about male hormones and men hormones. And I want to just share, if you don't mind, just a couple other thoughts about this whole hormonal issue with women's breast cancer, because it's near and dear to my heart. Because we have the female hormone book. We talk to clients all over the world. And I know that ladies have a fear, Deb, of getting breast cancer. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing to be afraid of. But, there's a really big but. You really need to listen to what I'm sharing with you right now. I'm going to share two important statements and two important concepts I need to get in your mind. And we talk about this in the hormone book. I would encourage you to have your vitamin D as in Delta tested. If you're dark skinned, whether it be African, Jamaican, Indian, any dark, from the Mideast, any dark-skinned person that has come into my office has never had a normal vitamin D without supplementation. There's a term called apoptosis. A-P-O-P-T-O-S-I-S. Apoptosis. Limited cell life. Vitamin D should be at least a level of 40 when you do the blood test. A level of 40. Now, we have a blood spot test. You can go to my website, druglessdoctor.com. Anywhere in the world, you can contact us. We can send you a kit. You can do the vitamin D test yourself. Vitamin D, and I read this through an article that I read from Harvard Medical School. Vitamin D helps the integrity of breast tissue. I personally take between 2,000 and 6,000 international units of vitamin D every day. I take a liquid that I place right directly on my tongue. If I have a dark-skinned person who comes in and their vitamin D's 6 or 8 or 10 or 17, I might have them take between 5,000 and 20,000 international units. We have capsules for that. If you start taking vitamin D and your skin starts to itch, it's a body signal to me that you may in fact need more calcium. I want to give you another thought, and very few people understand this, and it's also in my female hormone book, which is available at Drugless Doctor. It's iodine. Iodine, as you know, is important for the thyroid. But what you might not know is iodine is needed for every cell in your body. Ladies, you need it for your breasts and your ovaries, and gentlemen, you need it for your testicles and your prostate. I have seen PSA, that's a prostate test, lower and become normal with iodine supplementation. Now, I also know that we have had individuals who have had cysts on their breast, ladies, diminish and go away totally by supplementing properly with iodine. How do I do this? Well, first we look at your thyroid profile, a TSH, Tom, Sam, Harry, a T3, and T4 blood test. We use those figures and those results to calculate various levels of iodine in your body. But more specifically, we could do a urine iodine loading test. And if your urine iodine is low, we supplement accordingly. But I can tell you from my experience, and we've been doing this since 1978, if you have a low iodine, you probably have low thyroid function. If you have low vitamin D, statistically, from my experience, you have a greater chance to have an issue with cysts on your breast and potentially breast cancer. I don't want that to happen to you. I have so many ladies come in my office with tears in their eyes because they took off one breast and now they want to take off the other.
Dr. Bob, you know what? There is a question I know that's posed out there, and I'm going to pose it to you right now. It's in my genes.
That's awesome, because you know what? People ask us that all the time. You know, I just had a conversation with a patient that came in just the other day, and she was giving me, Deb, you're going to love this word. She was giving me a litany, a list of all the problems in her family that she has in her mind that she's going to get because Aunt Betty had it and Mary Sue had it and all these people have it. Genes, when you think the word gene, you usually have a negative connotation. Oh, we found the gene for this. Oh, we found the gene for this. Oh my gosh, guess what? We found the gene for this. And if we manipulate the genes around, you could eat and do whatever you want with Drugless Abandon because we are going to fix that gene. What Debbie said is so appropriate because there's a term called gene modulation. Big word, isn't it? Gene modulation is impacted by vitamin D and iodine for your breast. I'm going to share a thought with you. If you go to the American Cancer Society website and look at the cause of cancer, guess what they're going to say? They know what causes cancer. It's altered DNA. Environmental toxins. So if your mom had breast cancer and your mom did X, Y, Z and has this recipe box and you're doing X, Y, Z and following the same recipe box, guess what's going to happen to you? You're going to probably get what your mom had. So what we have made the wise choice to do is we eliminated the family recipe box. We don't do anything that our parents did in reference to health and eating at this point in our life because guess what? What they ate is the reason they are what they are. And my parents have passed away because they didn't necessarily buy into everything that I'm saying to you right now. This is very serious and it comes close to my heart because I see it happen every day in our practice, Deb.
So, Dr. Bob, since we can prevent this, that means we're responsible. So if we have a responsibility, we need to change our lifestyle, we need to change our food, we need to change our thinking, and we need to change the toxins in our body. One of the many items that women talk about is, I have all these red spots on my breast, on my stomach, and many men have these red dots too. Dr. Bob, does this have anything to do with the estrogen that you're talking about?
Well, it's a very good question, Deb, and it is a very common response. And what I'm holding in my hand right now is a Fram oil filter. The Fram oil filter is a great visual for what the liver is inside of your body. This filter, your liver, processes estrogen. Did you hear what I just said? So I know if you came into my office, and we just recently had a patient that came in that had a whole neckline of little skin tabs, and I know the little red bumps, which are called cherry hemangiomas. I know that same woman or individual has a greater potential to have the gallbladder out. Because when you have the little red cherry hemangiomas, I know your liver is compromised. If your liver is compromised and you had your gallbladder out and you have the little red bumps, chances are you're going to have hemorrhoids, varicose veins, and spider veins. Well, what will plug up this liver is sugar, dairy, trans fat, and God forbid, the medications you're taking. Stress will plug up your liver. So what we encourage our patients to do is obviously eat Dr. Bob's ABCs, half an apple every day, third cup of beets, 4 or 5 baby carrots. But you also need B as Bravo, B vitamins. Do you cry easy? Do you have a sense of impending doom? Sore muscles? Leaf raking, snow shoveling, yard working, sore muscles? You need B vitamins. Great source of B vitamins, brown rice. As a matter of fact, we even have a brown rice cooker on our website, which is great. We use it ourselves. You need B vitamins. Also on our website, we have a very pure and powerful product from Biotics Research Labs called BioB100s. So because you've been watching me, you have a little known secret. You get to purchase quality products through our website that's normally available only to people that have access to a healthcare provider like myself. If I was you, and I know you're really wise and smart, I would get some BioB100s. I would start taking 3 to 6 a day. If you have the body signals that Debbie was talking about, and also get the liquid or aqueous zinc, Deb, to see if you could take it. See what we're talking about right now? We're talking about life and death. And getting cancer is quite frightening.
You know what, Dr. Bob? I'm just pulling over this high lignin flax oil. And I know that this makes a difference, a huge difference in the women's life and men's lives in our practice and around the world. Some people, it eliminates hot flashes just by taking flax oil, Dr. Bob. I know for myself, I can tell it's working. I can tell when I have a little bit of an anxious day. I know I need to put some more flax into my body. And it really makes a difference in the growth of my hair and the shine in my hair. Believe it or not, it just goes really fast. Can you give us a quick fix on flax oil?
Well, everybody that's listening to us right now should take at least 1 tablespoon of flax oil every day. Cell membranes are made up of fat. And you know what? Fat is not bad for you. You have to eat the right fat. You want to avoid trans fat. You want to avoid processed oils. 1 tablespoon of flax oil per day per 100 pounds. Now, I know that you are watching us from all over the world right now. You could be watching us from Northern Ohio. Here's the scoop. We broadcast live every Wednesday at 12:05 Eastern Time. It's 12 o'clock New York time. It's a live webcast. I am talking live like I'm talking to you right now. It is interactive. You can type in questions. Tell your friends about it. Go to Drugless Doctor, druglessdoctor.com. Look at the bottom corner or just navigate around. You'll find it. Let's just say you've been watching us for years. You don't know what to do. You're tired of all the medication. You're tired of feeling tired. You don't trust your healthcare provider. You don't want to go in and take another drug. Why don't you come into our office? You know, we normally charge up to $200 for an exam and an x-ray, but because you have been a part of our faithful viewing audience for years and years and years, we will make that available to you for only $25. That is a huge savings. You'll sit down and you will talk to me or one of my associates or one of my staff, and we will sit and we'll take some films of your spine, we'll do an exam, we will get to the cause of your problem. You've been watching guests for years. Wouldn't it be awesome for you to come into the office because of this program and your goal would be to become a guest here too? Let's say you've been suffering, you don't know what to do, you're tired of taking all kinds of medications. Make that call. Call the number that's been on the screen. Go to druglessdoctor.com. Watch some of our videos. Make that action step, because guess what? In 5 years from now, you're going to be the exact same person or you're going to be dead. And our goal is to help you have a quality, healthy, filled life as long as you can before they put the lid down in the coffin or you're raptured up in the air. Make that call today. I promise you, you'll be glad you did.
Thank you for watching the Half Hour to Health program with your hosts Dr. Robert and Debbie DeMaria. Make sure to take advantage of this limited time offer, a $165 value for just $25. Be sure to log on to Dr. Bob's information-packed website, www.druglessdoctor.com. North Coast Chiropractic is located at 362 East Ridge Street in Elyria, Ohio. Call or visit us with any questions or comments you may have. You are invited to tune in next time as we spend a half hour to health together.